HL7 Soup version 2.3 has heaps of new features, but as you can see we've managed to keep that same great simple user experience that we get so much positive feedback about. So let's start with the basics inside the HL7 editor. If you select some text, any values in the editor with the same value will be highlighted. Great when you're changing values and hadn't realized you need to change more than one location. Or how about if I wanted to change a field in every single message? Here I can adjust all my demo messages to version 2.3, simply typing 2.3 in one of the messages, then right-clicking and saying update all 12 messages to the same value. Now every single message is running in HL7 version 2.3. We've stepped up our searching ability too with filters. Add a filter and messages that don't meet your requirements are instantly filtered out. Searching on date fields even gives specific date options, with options like greater than or less than. In other words, it's not just a text comparison, they're actually treated as dates. The editor also highlights your filtered fields, so it's easy for you to spot while the filter is in place. What I think makes filters so fantastic, however, is the ability to work with the previous update method I showed earlier. If I wish to update every single AO4 message to an AO3, I simply need to select it, filter it down so I've got all the AO4s, and now I can update its value to an AO3, right click, and update all 3 messages to AO3. Notice these have all now been updated to AO3, while the other messages were left in their original format. You can even take all the filtered messages and copy them to the clipboard. Where you can paste them into another tab or another application. Then we have highlighting, validation and message comparisons. In fact, it's such a big feature that we have created a whole tutorial video on it called Highlighting, Validation and Comparing Messages. You can watch that by clicking here. Simply put, you can create highlighters that always show a field in a certain colour. This highlighting can also be dependent on criteria and can even be said to make your message invalid. Filters can then return you only the valid or invalid messages. Highlighted messages will tell you why they're highlighted if you look, but invalid messages make it very clear. They change to red and the message interpretation lists all the errors, telling you what's wrong. You can even create different highlighting and validation sets. These can be used for different message types or integrations, and then export these to share with your suppliers and customers, and they can check their messages too. Automatic generation makes it easy to make a highlighting and validation set based on an existing message, and out of the box, all common date fields are validated to make sure there are no mistakes in your message. Comparing messages has a ton of flexibility too, comparing by values, message structure, or even compare to find the missing fields between messages. How about importing your own HL7 schema and having that validated? Better than that, how about importing somebody else's? Download it from your supplier or your country's HL7 org, and HL7 Soup can describe and validate the HL7 message that you need. We even did a tutorial video on it using the interoperability toolkit, the ITK, which is used in the UK's NHS. You can get it from here. Even if you aren't in the UK, it explains how you can import schemas into HL7 Soup. But if you are in the UK and you use HL7, you should definitely look at this. You can now swap out the message type description with the patient's name. See how now each message shows the name of the patient. Zooming is also supported in both the editor and in the integrations window. See, if I zoom right out, the line even collapses so you can see as much as possible. We also added some nice features for you when you're creating a message. HL7 Soup provides you with automatic message generation. You can also click here to add in a segment of your choice. One of my absolute favourites is the ability to expand or collapse segments, components or fields. Look for the quick keys here to make it super convenient. Sometimes you get messages that simply don't have the right segment separators. Microsoft Word, in my experience, seems to be one of the culprits of this, reformatting my messages. HL7 Soup now understands these and even fixes the message for you so you can send it on. Finally, we've also added a notifications page at startup that tells you when new versions of HL7 Soup are out and what they can do for you. Mark the messages as read and they won't show up again. Or you can even click here and the notification page won't show at startup. You can always get to it again by coming here from the main menu. We hope you like the new features and the companioning tutorials. Please feel free to leave some comments about this or what you'd like for future versions.